food. But if thou wilt not send him, we will not go down. For the man said unto us, Ye shall not see my face, except your brother be with you. And Israel said, Wherefore dealt ye so ill with me, as to tell the man whether ye had yet a brother? And they said, The man asked us straightly of our state and of our kindred, saying, Is your father yet alive? Have ye another brother? And we told him according to the tenor of these words. Could we certainly know that he would say, Bring your brother down? And Judah said unto Israel his father, Send the lad with me, and we will arise and go, that we may live and not die, both we and thou, and also our little ones. I will be surety for him. Of my hand shalt thou require him. Bring him not unto thee, and set him before thee. Then let me bear the blame forever. For except we had lingered, surely now we have returned this second time. And their father Israel said unto them, If it must be so now, do this. Take of the best fruits of the land in your vessels, and carry down the man a present, a little balm and a little honey, spices and myrrh, nuts and almonds. And take double money in your hand, and the money that was brought again in the mouth of your sacks. Carry it again in your hand. Peradventure it was an oversight. Take also your brother, and arise, go again unto the man. And God Almighty give you mercy before the man, that he may send away your other brother and Benjamin. If I be bereaved of my children, I am bereaved. And the men took that present, and they took double money in their hand, and Benjamin, and rose up and went down to Egypt, and stood before Joseph. And when Joseph saw Benjamin with them, he said to the ruler of his house, Bring these men home, and slay, and make ready, for these men shall dine with me at noon. And the man did as Joseph bade, and the man brought the men into Joseph's house. And the men were afraid, because they were brought into Joseph's house. And they said, Because of the money that was returned in our sacks at the first time are we brought in, that he may seek occasion against us, and fall upon us, and take us for bondmen and our asses. And they came near to the steward of Joseph's house. They communed with him at the door of the house, and said, O sir, we came indeed down at the first time to buy food. And it came to pass, when we came to the end, that we opened our sacks, and behold, every man's money was in the mouth of his sack, our money in full weight, and we have brought it again in our hand. And other money have we brought down in our hands to buy food. We cannot tell who put our money in our sacks. And he said, Peace be to you, fear not. Your God and the God of your father hath given you treasure in your sacks. I had your money. And he brought Simeon out unto them. And the man brought the men into Joseph's house, and gave them water, and they washed their feet, and he gave their asses provender. And they made ready the present again against Joseph came at noon, for they heard that they should eat bread there. And when Joseph came home, they brought him the present which was in their hand into the house, and bowed themselves to him to the earth. And he asked them of their welfare, and said, Is your father well? The old man of whom ye spake, is he yet alive? And they answered, Thy servant our father is in good health. He is yet alive. And they bowed down their heads and made obeisance. And he lifted up his eyes and saw his brother Benjamin, his mother's son, and said, Is this your younger brother of whom ye spake unto me? And he said, God be gracious unto thee, my son. And Joseph made haste, for his bowels did yearn upon his brother. And he sought where to weep. And he entered into his chamber, and wept there. And he washed his face, and went out, and refrained himself, and said, Set on bread. And they set on for him by himself, and for them by themselves, and for the Egyptians which did eat with him by themselves, because the Egyptians might not eat bread with the Hebrews, for that is an abomination unto the Egyptians. And they sat before him, the firstborn according to his birthright, and the youngest according to his youth. And the men marveled one at another. And he took and sent messes unto them from before him. But Benjamin's mess was 5 times as much as theirs. Talking about the food. And they drank and were merry with him. Wow. This is chapter 42 and 43. And this is very, very good. Because we know, if you've been reading along and you know the story here, his brothers basically threw him away. And they sold him and everything. And I mean, he had dreams. He interpreted dreams and everything. You know, it's just such a beautiful, beautiful thing. Joseph just blossomed. And dreams that he had when he was a young boy, he told his family, his brothers, and about making him and bowing down and things like that. And the brothers were jealous. And we know that he was favored. Joseph was favored by his father, as the favorite child in the family. So the brothers, they threw him away. They sold him, and that just started a spiral of just good things. And there, God showed favor to him in so many things. Every tragedy that appeared to be a tragedy, thrown in jail, and everything that we're going to just talk about even more. Every tragedy that we would see as being a tragedy came out to be something good, something wonderful, glorifying the name of the Lord. And that's what I wanted to kind of get out this synopsis here, is that, you know, the holidays are here. Thanksgiving just passed, and we, you know, have the Christmas holiday for those of you who do celebrate. Those of you who don't, you know, you probably get together. Thanksgiving is every day. Thanksgiving, I feel, is every single day of our lives. So those of you who don't celebrate for whatever reasons, you still make time. If you don't, some of you do, to just spend time with your family, friends, and loved ones. And also those of you who celebrate. Um, Make time to spend time with your family and loved ones on a regular basis. Um, and a lot of people in the word and so forth. So, um, you just pray for those loved ones and pray for those the people in your family to turn their lives around. Because it's nothing like serving the Lord. It is a joy. It is a joy, and I hear some people say, "Well, it's a lot of work. It's this and that," but it's enjoyable. Everything is enjoyable. He's not going to give you more than you can bear. And if it's a chore and if it's all of that, then you need to reevaluate yourself. If this is you, if I'm speaking to you, you need to reevaluate. You need to get with God and just see what your direct path is all about. You may be walking down the wrong path. Only God knows. So that's why we stay in prayer. We never stop praying. But see this, and speaking of the holidays and everything, time the families getting together and so forth. And no one's above anybody, no one's beneath anybody. Um, we're here, we're not to, this is what I want to get out, we're not to look down upon our family members saying they don't have this or I have more than them or whatever, because we're all in this together. And it's not about materialistic things and so forth. It's not about all of that. Jesus is coming soon. We need to get ready, be ready, and stay ready. We need to help others into the kingdom as well. And you don't know, you may be sitting next to a brother or a sister, and that's a diamond right there. That's gold, right? Gold and diamond, that's jewels. Because you never know about a person, you never know what they're about, and you could be up one day and down the next. And the same thing vice versa. You could be down one day and up the next. See, God showing favor. But see, we don't know what hands we're gonna fall into with our family members later on down the line. We don't know. So we need to treat everybody right. We need to love everybody right just because it's from the heart. And God says, love him with everything you have, heart, soul, and body, mind, everything. And then love your neighbor as yourself. Not only your next door neighbor, not only across the street neighbor, not people you come in contact with every day, and people you just come in contact with randomly, or people you may come in contact with one time. Love your neighbor as yourself. And so we are to love everybody. Everybody's our neighbors, brothers and sisters. We are to love everybody. And we're not to look down on anybody. We're not to treat anybody wrong, because we see the things, the upcomings and things that happen right here in these scriptures with Joseph. And he was devalued. He was valued less in the family and everything. But look at this. They had to come to him, a famine in the land. And they had to come to him because he was right next to Pharaoh. He was a big man. And so they had to come from another town, and they gave obeisance to him. They bowed him, and they paid him. They needed money to be able to eat. They didn't even know that was their brother. They didn't even know. He played a few little tricks with them and so forth, but they didn't know that was their own brother. They had suspicion, and they said, we're going through all of this and being locked in jail and bringing our baby brother back and so forth. We're going all through this because of what we did to our brother way back when. And so he's listening to this, and they're not even knowing that that's their brother. And they think that he doesn't know what they're talking about because he was speaking to them through an interpreter. But he heard everything they said, and he knew exactly what they were talking about. So he went away for a little bit, and he wept. He cried. Before the dinner. Then he pulled himself together, for the dinner, and they began to eat the dinner.